This makes me very, very upset. Not the throw itself, but what happened after this.
Inside Raiders territory, fumble the ball!
And Judy, just get off my football team, man.
Oh my gosh.
Sanders can't even catch a break.
Man, put a 30-yard dot in your hand, you start frolicking, you're a grown man.
It's inexcusable. He's had a miserable year with a few exceptions. He had the hard third down run last week.
Was sabotaging you.
So you just want to start trouble, huh?
No.
The Cleveland Browns just witnessed something that stunned the entire football world. Something so wild that even the most loyal fans were left staring at their screens in disbelief. This wasn't just another bad play. This was the kind of moment that forces people to stop making excuses, stop pretending everything is fine, and start asking the kind of questions organizations hate. Judy didn't just drop a pass on Sunday night. He unintentionally lit the fuse on what might become one of the most controversial plays of the entire NFL season.
Sanders can't even catch a break. Look at this poor guy rolling out right, finds his target, finds Judy, lights him up, perfect pass. Then Judy out of nowhere he hops? What the fuck is he hopping for? This angle, he sees two defenders and he literally jumps in the air. What is that gonna do for you? Never seen anything like that. Is jumping gonna give you super speed to run past them? Even worse, was he showboating and he just didn't see the defender, so he jumped up in the air?
Overnight, it turned into the most dissected, frame-by-frame analyzed moment anyone has seen in years. And now every fan, analyst, player, and ex-player is asking the same question. Was this a legit mistake, or something way more calculated? Cleveland was up 14-3 with momentum flowing like a river. 1st and 10 at the Browns' 28-yard line. Shedeur Sanders drops back, calm and smooth, working the pocket with that sharp footwork everyone keeps talking about. He scans the field, slides away from pressure like he's been doing it for a decade, and then fires a perfect spiral. One of those throws that shuts up every critic instantly. The ball sails straight to a wide-open Judy deep in Raiders territory.
Before I crash out, somebody explain this to me, right? Shedeur throw your long-headed at the ball. Why you want to play around with the ball and cause a fumble? Man, put a 30-yard dot in your hand, you start frolicking, you're a grown man. Everybody watching this man debut, you know it's this man debut. Why in the world are you playing around with the ball in your hand? You work for Dylan? Stefanski put you onto this, bro? Long-headed ass dude? Do y'all actually see this, bro? The man get the ball and start frolicking, bro. He frolicking, trying to point off, trying to troll. Why you trolling? Why you playing around with Shedeur?
This was the moment that flips games, boosts confidence, and cements a rookie quarterback as the real deal in front of the world. Judy brings the ball in, and then somehow he lets it slip right out of his hands. But here's the part that shook fans the most. This wasn't your typical drop. This wasn't traffic. This wasn't bad weather. This wasn't a defender knocking it loose. This was a receiver who appeared to slow down, actually slow down, before the ball even reached his chest. People couldn't believe what they were watching. The ball was in his hands. It looked secured for a split second. Then suddenly, like a card trick gone wrong, it was back on the turf. Fans said it looked like the ball vanished, almost like he purposely loosened his grip, and that tiny detail made the whole internet explode.
Judy right on the money. And Judy, just get off my football team, man.
Oh my gosh. That guy.
There's just few Browns players in my life that I could think of that I'm just not a fan of. Judy's up there in terms of guys, I just not a.
Social media didn't just react. It went full investigation mode. Clips were slowed to 0.25 speed. Frames were zoomed in. Angles were compared, and people dug into every micro movement like it was a real case file. To them, this wasn't just a mistake. It felt like a crime against the team, because in their minds, nobody catches a perfect pass from their own quarterback, especially a rookie trying to change the franchise, and then casually drops it like that unless something else is going on. Some fans even claimed it looked intentional, like there was something behind the curtain that regular viewers weren't supposed to notice. Was Judy paid to drop that ball? That's the question echoing around Cleveland like a ghost that refuses to leave the room. Think about the timing for a second, because it's almost too perfect to ignore. Shedeur Sanders has officially stepped onto the NFL stage like he owns it, and the rookie is making real noise. This is the same 5th-round pick Kevin Stefanski took a chance on. The kid critics said wouldn't make it past training camp, and suddenly he's proving every single doubter wrong in real time. Right when Shedeur starts building real momentum, right when he's looking like a legit NFL quarterback with command and swagger, Judy, the veteran, the supposed reliable weapon, the guy fans expect to be a safety net, drops one of the easiest touchdowns anyone saw all night. A play so wide open that fans already started celebrating before the ball even touched his hands.
Cute. I have no idea what would possess him to try that hop step in the middle of a you're not at the goal line. Like you got a lot of dudes behind you. It's inexcusable. He's had a miserable year with a few exceptions. He had the hard third down run last week on the short swing pass against the Ravens where he converted the first down. Short of that, man, it's been a miserable season for him. And yesterday was, I think, his worst play. All the drops he's had.
Coincidence? That's exactly what Kevin Stefanski wants everyone to swallow. Instead of talking about Shedeur Sanders and the moment that should have pushed the rookie's hype into another universe, the Browns head coach instantly switched into full-blown defense mode, but not to defend Shedeur. He defended Jeudy like his job depended on it. Reporters pressed Stefanski about the drop, about the timing, about the fact that Judy looked like he slowed down before the ball even reached him, and Stefanski's response almost sounded like a script written to calm a fire that was already burning hot.
And Jerry knows this, and you know, we remind him and remind our players, it's always the guy that you can't see that they're coming. So I don't think it was a loaf. It was a lack.
He didn't hesitate. He didn't question the effort. He didn't acknowledge how suspicious it looked. Instead, he blamed ball security technique. He said Judy was setting up the defender for a move. He brushed it off like they were talking about a random incomplete pass in practice and not a touchdown-level play during a real game. It felt like he wasn't just protecting Judy. He was shielding him hard, like someone guarding a player who's doing exactly what he's been told to do. Now, sure, maybe that's innocent. Maybe Stefanski is trying to be the classic leader who keeps the heat off his guys. Coaches do that all the time. They defend players. They push fundamentals. They avoid throwing anyone under the bus. That's normal, on the surface. But here's what's upsetting the entire Browns fan base right now. This wasn't a rookie mistake from a young receiver. This wasn't a tough contested catch. This was a veteran who's supposed to be one of the sharpest weapons on the roster, messing up at the exact moment the rookie quarterback was cooking. And the way Stefanski rushed to cover it up has fans wondering if something deeper is happening behind the scenes. Judy hasn't just struggled this season, he's been flat out rough to watch, and fans are losing patience. We're talking 31 catches, 356 yards, and a single touchdown from a player who was supposed to be a Pro Bowl level weapon. That's the type of stat line people expect from a guy fighting for a practice squad spot, not someone who was once viewed as a big piece of the future. A receiver with his talent playing this poorly makes everyone wonder if his mind is somewhere else entirely. And once this latest drop happened, fans didn't waste a single second. They dug up every receipt they could find, every drop, every fumble, every moment where Judy looked checked out. They pulled it all up like detectives opening an old case file. Sure, earlier in the season, people blamed some of those issues on Dylan Gabriel or other quarterbacks, but once fans lined up all the plays side by side, something strange stood out. Whenever Shedeur Sanders throws the ball to Judy, things get messy. Not every time, but enough times that people started raising eyebrows and asking real questions.
Jerry, I know Kevin said that Shedeur is going to get all the first-team reps. How important is this week of practice going to be for you guys and for you specifically to develop chemistry with him and try to get something going?
It's going to be very important.
And what have you seen of Shedeur? We don't really get to watch very much practice, and I know he hasn't had first-team reps yet, but what kind of development have you seen in him over these past few months?
He consistently growing.
On that last drive, it looked like he was the most comfortable.
Enough weird moments to make anyone wonder if something else is going on behind the scenes. Enough to spark talk about whether some kind of tension or behind-closed-doors drama is brewing inside the Browns locker room. People don't toss around words like conspiracy for fun. Something had to get them thinking this way. And that's when the internet started connecting dots like crazy. Fans went beyond the drops and began studying Kevin Stefanski's entire season. Every play call that made no sense, every strange moment, every decision that felt off. Fourth quarter punts from spots where they should have kicked. Odd penalties at the worst times. Drives that looked like they were being slowed down on purpose. Piece by piece, people started forming a picture that felt way bigger than a simple drop. What began as frustration over one wide-open missed touchdown evolved into something deeper and way more uncomfortable for fans to think about. It started to feel like this wasn't just about a receiver having a bad year. It felt like the whole operation was twisting sideways. And soon, grown men online, lifelong Browns fans, were comparing the coaching staff's decisions to something that looked more like controlled planning than football strategy. Some even compared it to the kind of schemes you hear about in gambling scandals or organized setups, the type nobody ever wants to believe could hit their team. Whether those theories are true or not, one thing is for sure. The way Jerry Judy has been playing and the timing of these mistakes around Shedeur Sanders has fans watching everything with a sharper eye than ever before. Was this really about point shaving, or was something way bigger bubbling under the surface? Fans weren't just talking about a random drop anymore. They were questioning whether the Cleveland Browns have a deeper problem, something baked into the foundation of the whole operation, something way beyond one receiver and one moment gone wrong. Here's the part nobody can ignore. Jerry Judy had been growing frustrated for weeks. He snapped at reporters. He allegedly confronted Kevin Stefanski about how the team was handling Shedeur Sanders. That alone shocked people because it showed the tension wasn't just rumor. It was real pressure brewing inside that locker room. This wasn't the harmless type of tension that fades after a team meeting or a halftime pep talk. This was the type that sits heavy in the air, the type everyone can feel even if nobody openly says it. And when pressure builds like that, it always finds a way out. Loud, messy, and unpredictable. So when Judy let that ball hit the turf, fans saw more than a mistake. They saw the blow-up everyone sensed was coming, the moment that snapped the entire situation wide open. The Browns tried to control the narrative fast. They pushed out a statement saying they delivered a firm message to Jerry Judy. They wanted people to believe the situation was handled, wrapped up, and back under control. But nobody bought it for a second. Why? Because Kevin Stefanski didn't act like a coach who just laid down discipline. He didn't sound frustrated. He didn't sound firm. He didn't sound like a coach protecting the team. Instead, he defended Judy like he was protecting a luxury item, not a player who just cost the team a game-changing moment.
Oh, yeah, you know, he's like a coach. Yeah. We know you don't f with him. We know you don't f with him, and we don't either. Don't say nothing. Leave it to us. We got your back. We gonna make sure we pack him up and get him up out of there. We are not going to allow Kevin Stefanski to get credit for Shedeur's success when the only reason Shedeur is playing is because Dylan Gabriel got a concussion. The only reason Shedeur is playing is because Andrew Berry forced Kevin Stefanski's hand by trading Joe Flacco and even did it within the division. We're not giving Kevin Stefanski no credit for this. We know you can't really say.
Stefanski made excuses. He softened everything. He shielded Judy in a way that felt strange, even suspicious, to fans who were watching closely. It didn't match the firm message the organization claimed they delivered behind closed doors. And that's the moment everything flipped. That's when conspiracy theorists stopped looking at Judy and started pointing directly at Stefanski. What if the coach is involved? What if this whole situation runs deeper than a single receiver having a bad night or a veteran sabotaging a rookie quarterback? That's the question that took over social media and turned this entire moment into a full-on storm that nobody in Cleveland could escape. The allegations spread online like wildfire. Analysts broke down the drop frame by frame, slowing it down until every tiny movement became evidence.
Anytime Shedeur gets in the red zone, they're going to do this. They're going to take away his opportunity to score down here. Here's that beautiful throw that Shedeur made. This is the best throw of the game.
Pressure, running away from it is Sanders. He's looking long. He's got a man. Caught at the 10-yard line. Bonds.
It would have been great if Vaughn could have stayed up, but I knew once he didn't score right here, they were going to go Wildcat again.
And here he goes again. He scored earlier. He lowers his shoulder to the goal line.
Now this throw.
Off the play fake, he'll roll the pocket. He's been rolling it an awful lot today.
This makes me very, very upset. Not the throw itself, but what happened after this.
Inside Raiders territory, fumble the ball.
Now, when Jerry Judy caught that ball, he had an entire sideline. Even if he didn't score, they're in red zone territory again, setting Shedeur up for the chance to make something happen and possibly score again. Now, everybody's talking about the over-under in this game.
People started asking whether Jerry Judy's struggles were random or selective, whether he was underperforming only in certain situations or only when certain quarterbacks, especially Shedeur Sanders, were throwing him the ball. Fans wanted answers, and they wanted them fast, but the Browns weren't giving any. They didn't explain the strange timing. They didn't address the questions everyone kept asking. They didn't clarify why these mistakes showed up around Shedeur specifically. The narrative building online became simple and honestly scary. Someone didn't want Shedeur Sanders to succeed. Someone wanted to protect the old structure, the old hierarchy, the old comfort zone inside Cleveland. It almost felt like someone was trying to make sure Shedeur never got the chance to prove he belongs in this league. Was Jerry Judy acting alone? Was it Judy and someone on the coaching staff working together? Or was it something even bigger? Something tied to gambling groups or outside interests who saw the Browns as a profitable target? Those were the questions multiplying by the hour. Fans weren't just guessing. They were connecting timelines, comparing game film, and pointing at every strange decision the organization made all season. And the craziest part, nobody from the league stepped up to say anything. The NFL establishment stayed quiet, too quiet. That silence made everything feel even more suspicious.
Business is it? When you've got a 5'9" quarterback running around and could twist an ankle, and Shedeur would have to play Sunday in Foxborough, and he's not getting any reps. That seems like bad preparation, no?
It does. You wouldn't question it if you know you had a backup.
If it was Kelly Holcomb, yeah, right. If it was, yeah, right. I wouldn't. It's not. It's a kid they haven't. He hasn't taken first round team reps with anybody yet.
It's almost like, you know, the coach is saying, okay, you gave me 2 rookie quarterbacks. I'm going to prepare one of them, and we'll see what happens if he goes down.
Well, it's not fair to Shedeur. If he were to go in this game, God knows.
And that's when fans snapped. They didn't want a small internal Browns review that gets tucked into a drawer. They wanted a real investigation, one that looks at the entire season, not just one drop. They wanted the league to look into whether systematic sabotage was happening in Cleveland, whether point shaving was a real possibility, whether outside gambling interests somehow reached into the Browns organization and influenced what fans were seeing on the field. People wanted the truth, all of it, and they weren't willing to let this story get swept away like nothing happened. The momentum just kept growing, and the accusations kept spreading like a wave nobody could stop. And right in the center of all of it was Shedeur Sanders, a rookie trying to earn his spot, trying to prove he belongs in this league, while it looked like some of his own teammates weren't giving him the support he deserved. This moment didn't just show a dropped pass. It exposed something the Browns front office never wanted anyone to see. It exposed real dysfunction, the kind that digs deep into the foundation of a team. This wasn't just about bad play calling or questionable personnel choices. This was about loyalty, trust, and whether certain veterans were willing to hold down a young quarterback to protect their status or satisfy outside pressure. The drop stopped being just a drop. It turned into a symbol. It became a physical sign of everything fans fear is wrong in Cleveland. To millions of viewers, it looked like evidence that something shady might be happening behind the scenes, something nobody wants to believe could be true. It became the moment where the maybe turned into wait, what's really going on here? And suddenly people weren't scared to ask the uncomfortable questions anymore. And here's the part that shook fans the hardest. Kevin Stefanski's response didn't calm anything down. It made the whole situation look worse.
It was displayed over the weekend when Shedeur Sanders went up to Las Vegas, got out of that city with the dub. At the conclusion of the game, we seen Kevin Stefanski hold the game ball in the air. And he pretty much said, well, you know what, Myles Garrett, this is for you. That is exactly what he did. Now, despite Shedeur Sanders being a rookie, despite Shedeur Sanders going up against all of the obstacles that he faced, because he damn sure faced a lot, Kevin Stefanski refused to give the game ball to Shedeur.
A normal coach would have addressed the mistake head on. A normal coach would have made it clear that the quarterback, rookie or not, deserves full effort from every player on the field. A normal coach would have backed his quarterback, especially when the kid is fighting to prove he belongs in the NFL. A normal coach would have held a veteran to a higher standard, not wrapped him in excuses. But Stefanski didn't do that. He did the opposite. He defended Judy like the drop never happened. He softened every detail. He acted like everything was fine when fans could clearly see it wasn't. His reaction came off like someone protecting something he didn't want exposed, and that made people even more suspicious. So now what are we left with? We're left with a Browns locker room that looks chaotic from the outside. We're left with Shedeur Sanders grinding to prove himself while some parts of the organization look like they're pulling in the opposite direction. We're left with a veteran receiver whose performance creates more questions than confidence. And we're left with a coaching staff whose credibility took a major hit, all because of one controversial play and one even more controversial response from the head coach. The drop may have been one moment, but the fallout has turned it into something Cleveland can't ignore anymore. The comments flooding social media aren't slowing down, not even a little. The frame-by-frame breakdowns aren't fading away. The calls for an NFL investigation keep getting louder, because every now and then in sports, you see something that just doesn't line up with logic. You see a moment that feels wrong, a moment that forces you to question everything you believed about fairness and integrity in the game. Judy didn't just drop a pass on Sunday night, he dropped a truth bomb straight across the entire NFL landscape. His mistake cracked open the door to conversations the league never wanted to have. In one moment, he exposed dysfunction inside Cleveland. He sparked doubts about loyalty, motives, and intentions. He made fans wonder whether the league might be dealing with something way darker than a simple miscommunication. People suddenly had to think about the possibility, just the possibility, that deliberate sabotage or something resembling point manipulation could be happening in pro football. And that idea shook fans to their core, because it's the one topic nobody ever wants to believe could be real.
Stefanski was sabotaging you.
So you just want to start trouble, huh?
No, I want to ask you what your relationship with him is.
Yeah, well, what people do outside the building isn't really in my control. It's not in my power, so I don't You act like I could go out there and tell them to do whatever. You know, that's not nothing I could control or nothing I could do. Just happy to be here. Coach Stefanski, you've been coaching since I got here, and you've been doing it.
Now the whole world is watching with eyes wide open. The whole world is asking the same questions, demanding clarity Cleveland hasn't provided. People want real answers, not rehearsed statements. They want explanations that make sense, not another round of vague comments from the organization. Because this moment isn't about one receiver anymore, it's about trust. It's about whether fans can believe what they're watching. It's about whether a young quarterback like Shedeur Sanders is getting a fair shot or getting dragged into something he never signed up for. This situation has become a mirror, reflecting everything people fear about modern sports. This is what happens when a talented player underperforms at the exact moment when everything is on the line. This is what happens when a coach protects a veteran instead of holding him accountable like every other player on the field. This is what happens when millions of fans see something suspicious and refuse to look the other way. Judy's dropped pass didn't fade into the highlight reel. It became the most talked about moment in Cleveland Browns history, not because of the play itself, but because of what it might reveal. Because now the conversation isn't about whether he dropped the ball, everyone agrees he did. The real question echoing across the entire NFL right now is much heavier, much more unsettling, and nobody is running from it anymore. The question is, was he supposed to drop it? So here we are, Cleveland standing in the middle of a storm that refuses to pass. A rookie quarterback fighting for his future, a veteran receiver triggering one of the most intense debates the NFL has seen all year, and a coaching staff that now sits under a spotlight hotter than anything they expected. This moment has become bigger than Shedeur Sanders, bigger than Judy, and bigger than Kevin Stefanski. This has turned into a test of what fans believe football is supposed to be: honest, competitive, and built on trust. When plays start looking suspicious, when reactions don't match reality, and when explanations feel too clean to be believable, people start demanding the truth with real force. And now the truth is all anyone wants. Did the drop mean something more? Did the situation expose cracks the public wasn't supposed to see? Did it reveal a locker room divided at the worst possible time? These questions aren't disappearing, and the NFL won't be able to ignore them forever, not with millions of fans watching every development like it's a courtroom case. Shedeur Sanders didn't ask for this chaos, but he's right in the middle of it. And somehow, instead of crumbling, he looks even more determined. That's the wild part. The fire around him keeps growing, but so does the belief that this kid might be strong enough to push through it. Now the saga keeps rolling. The investigations keep getting louder, and the tension in Cleveland keeps rising. This story isn't finished. Not even close. It's shifting, twisting, and evolving by the hour, and the stakes are only climbing higher from here. And you already know. We'll have every second of it broken down, every twist, every leak, every hidden play behind the headlines. So subscribe, drop a comment, and share it out. Stay locked in with Huddle Files, where the real NFL stories live.